Okay, hopefully OBS doesn't have the same kind of problems that I just had. That there, so I can watch that. Cool. Yeah, so I can see chat. If anybody is still around. I've wasted so much time because streams keeps crashing. And I feel like it's not even like my computer or anything. I think it was just Streamlabs. Because that's not the first time that's happened with Streamlabs. Oh. That's kind of an animated look. I don't know if it's filling like the socket enough. Maybe just bring it forward more might help. Not that forward. Don't peek out of the top of the eyelid. That works. I wonder if I'm live this time. Am I actually live? Yes, I am. Cool. Just had to be sure. You never know with these things sometimes. Get off of that. So I can just. Yeah. Hair. So that's the hair. Okay. There we go. Great. Now let me just try to remember how to do that. Invalid UV map. That's gonna be something annoying for me to deal with, isn't it? Okay. Not gonna worry about that for now. I just don't like the way her hair is looking right now. I can't put my finger on what I don't like about it. That didn't help. That didn't help at all. It just looks like some kind of icing gets smeared on. Doesn't help that some of it looks like it's flat and some of it's not. That makes it even worse. That looks better. The shading. That looks better. I'll mess with that more. Flash, dude, hey. Welcome. Dude, you're the first person to come back since I had to restart the stream 3 different times. Because Streamlabs crashed 3 different times. And since this stream has been going on as long as it has been, I am now of the, I'm now completely of the belief that it was entirely Streamlabs' fault and not my computer just being dumb. What's up? Could also be that I have normal latency on here and I had low latency on earlier. That might be the main issue. Yeah, the hair is the main thing because the hair is just kind of weird around here. Cody, what's up, dude? This would be so much easier if I would just swap these screens, because then I can use my pen. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's probably terrifying. And Streamlabs can come over here. Now there you guys are. Now I can use my pen for this. Plus, I could see a little bit better if I would just move this down. Why is that so weird? I gotta, like, build my interface. There we go. So is this Gwen? Yes, this is Gwen Stacy. Peter, Spider-Man model down. Now you're doing Gwen. Now, any plans for who's next? I'm gonna build all of the main, like, friend group of Spider-Man. So I got Peter. I'm gonna do Gwen. Next is Harry, and then Ned. And then I'm gonna do the rest of the Midtown High gang, and then May. And then how do I get you guys? So I don't have to, like, try and get you guys to the one I'm leaning down. I don't go out of frame. That works. But yeah. Harry, Ned, probably Flash, Randy, Liz. And then I'm gonna make like a generic, like a couple of generic like high schooler models and whatnot. And then that's everybody. For high school at least. Then I gotta do everything else. Go. I guess here works. Just let me know if you just can't see me. Ooh, if you care to see me. I don't know who would care to see me. Okay. What about Kenny Kong? Kenny, oh yes, right, Kenny. Were you guessing Kenny? Because I haven't mentioned that Kenny's going to be in the show. Did you guess Kenny? Because that's impressive. Because I don't know if I said Kenny was going to be in the show. But if I did not, that was a really good guess. Because Kenny is going to be in the show. And I have to put Kenny in it. I have to make Kenny at some point. I also need to cast Kenny. There's a few characters. You guessed that? That's wild. That's wild, dude. Which of my delicious tools should I use to train? Thin out the hair around here. I typically use smooth. Why does it not want to actually make the crease? Oh, well, Gwen's got a bald spot now. Really done with Peter and Spider-Man model? No. No, because I keep procrastinating, I keep changing my mind, and I keep having second thoughts about things. Let me show you guys what I'm working with, though. I think Peter's done. My thing is, here's the big thing. This is a big surprise, the big shocker. You know how I said that I was totally set on Spider-Man. Yeah, specifically about his look, that he did not have web lines on his suit. And I was like, oh yeah, it's like his first suit. He's not gonna have web lines. I want to do that. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be different, unique. It's gonna be different. Yeah, I put there it is. I caved. I was looking at it, I was like, man, you know, I get what would it look like if he had some web lines on the suit? And then I was like, oh, I'll put some there, and what if it was just like that? And now he's got web lines. Now he's got a whole pattern on the suit. Which, admittedly, I think it does look better. Like, I think it looks really good. But I was laughing at myself because I was like, man, I was set. I folded. I completely folded. I literally, like, I was done. I was like, man, I thought I was done. But now I'm done. But no, this is, I think, the final model. And it still looks very homemade. And it's because I used the draw tool to put the web lines on. So it looks very scribbled on, as if this kid just kind of made it himself. So it still holds that value of feeling like this is Peter's first suit, and that he doesn't have everything together yet. So yeah, I'm not complaining. I am laughing at myself though. But I think this is good. I think this is pretty good. It looks sick though. Thank you, thank you. I do think this looks better than what I had before. And I decided not to do the messy webs just because I couldn't make a messy web pattern that still looked uniform. Like I did, like anytime I made a messy pattern, it didn't look like it was purposefully messy. And that's the thing that like the appeal of the Edge of Time suit was that it was messy, but it looked like it was on purpose. Whereas this, I have my name tag from my job on. That's funny. Now everybody knows where I work. But it looks like he did. Yeah, it looks like he drew it on, like he scribbled it on with a Sharpie. So I like it. I like it. I like Spider-Man with red and black color palette. Yeah, I was going for that kind of like that Ditko vibe, which is why the back spider is blue, because it's based off of Amazing Fantasy 15. Which oh no, that's not it. I was gonna show you guys this because this is an Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man action figure, but they caught themselves when they were making it because they made the back spider red. But this is the basic like color design, at least. But the back spider's red on this. Infamously, I believe they claimed it was a printing issue. But the back spider was blue. I think it was supposed to be white, but it turned out blue. In Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man's debut. But now that's become synonymous with like Pete's first suit, to the point where when the soft reboot thing happened in the late 90s, they actually wrote it in that Peter had a blue spider on the back of his suit, and then changed it a little later on. Which is why that's where I was inspired to make my Peter's first suit with a blue spider on the back. So that's why that's like that. But right now, Peter's done. Working on Gwen. Spider-Man's pretty much done. I'm going to add all the shading and everything to Gwen once I get her model down. If I can figure out how to get this hair to look good, I'll leave this hair. But I was going to use a different method of making hair. But if I can get this hair to look somewhat decent, I'll probably do that. Crease tool is just too big. I need to make it smaller. Not one, but like, how does 17 look? Looks better. Add some texture to the hair. Hopefully this stream didn't also crash. Maybe people are just being quiet. Maybe I'm losing my marbles. It's like it almost doesn't like show up unless it's the big one. Like you see that? It's like not moving unless it's a big thing. It's weird. Yeah, see, unless it's a big value, it doesn't do anything. Which sucks because I don't really think I can get away with using a big value. On everything, at least. I don't know. Yes, it's work. Everything's working. Cool. And it's just a latency thing. Maybe I just loosen my marbles. Ooh. Some kind of texture. Oh, you're good. You're good. I was being just paranoid. Okay, I think it's working. What if I just turn that off? Just grab this. It seems very short to be a half up, half down kind of thing. You know what I mean? Oh, I have everything flipped. I was like, why am I looking this way when I'm looking that way? But yeah, it's over there. This is over here. Ooh. Well, that's good though, because it looks like I'm facing the right way when I turn to look at this. I haven't touched OBS in like so long, but since Streamlabs doesn't want to work properly, I'll probably be using OBS a lot more. I might not have to pay for Streamlabs anymore. It's looking good so far. Thank you. I feel like it's looking pretty good so far. Spider-Man, can you... That's actually kind of perfect, though. I might have to use that. I might use that on my girlfriend later. That's pretty good. If Peter Parker got bit by a spider to become Spider-Man, can I get bit by you to become your man? That's pretty good. It's just not sitting straight. Try this. See, that's better. Wait, this part here. Which isn't terrible because, you know, I don't want it to be too symmetrical, but also don't want it to have like a Harry Potter zigzag in her hair. There we go, let's start to straighten it a little bit. You're a wizard, Gwen. Oh, that looks much better with the colors on render mode. That looks much better. And it'll look even better with the toon shading on as well. I gotta keep telling myself that. All the little imperfections, and this is something that, like, anybody that wants to do Blender stuff, as I'm learning, I'll teach other people. All the little, like, imperfections that I'm finding are going away as soon as I add some kind of shader. But that's just because the lighting, like, affects what things are visible. Like, for example, like, oh, I can just go here. I can go here now. On the Spider-Man model. So it looks great, right? But then here it is without render mode. Okay, that still looks pretty decent. But I thought last night when I was in the middle of doing it that it looked absolutely like dog shit. But but even still with this, as decent as it looks out of render mode, once I went into render mode, boom. All the imperfections in the line art and even in the model are kind of shrouded by the lighting. Which I guess a lot of people have mentioned, like, they mentioned that lighting kind of is the make or break for this type of thing. But yeah. Ooh, I also haven't showed you guys this. I found a few base meshes to use for different characters in this. Oh, hang on. That's on the other side. There we go. I found a few neat little base meshes. I think I'm gonna use this one to model Kingpin. I think this one. And he's very muscular. I want a Kingpin, like, obviously Pete's gonna make the same kind of fat jokes he always makes. But I also kind of want to, like, I want to modernize it a little bit so that Pete's still making fun of Kingpin. But Kingpin's like, I'll mess with the model a little bit, so Kingpin will have a little bit of fat on him, but also he'll just be massive. So Pete will be like partly like making fun of Kingpin. And then I want to add in a joke when they're fighting when Pete's like, bro, how do I get like you? like you big dude. And make jokes like that too. But yeah, like I want like the first time he like sees Kingpin, he'll be talking with somebody, and he'll be like, whoa. And the person will be like, what? And Pete's just going to be like, this dude's massive. Something like that. But I think this is going to be the base model that I use to make characters like Kingpin, Ox, Rhino. Rhino's not going to be in Season 1, but whenever I do use Rhino, this will be the model I use for Rhino. This is a very generic, like, male model that I'll probably use for, like, any superhero that works with Spider-Man. Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Man, all of them. I'll probably use this as the base model for them. And then the same with this female model. It'll be the same way. Just because, like, a lot of these characters, it'll be more difficult for me to, like, surrender my ability to use shaders because I'll have to really mass produce these characters, because these will also be like base models for like characters that walk around New York, like regular civilians, and I want to be able to like pump those out really quick, which is why I also have the Ko-Fi link out now, because that goal on there, that $600 goal on there, would pay for Character Creator 4, which would make it like that, making characters like that. From what I was able to do in the trial to what I've been seeing people do on the internet, like once I have that, I'll be pumping out like different characters like that for the show. And that's like the bulk of the animation process for me, at least, is making the characters. Once I've made them, I've gotten decent at animating. I just need to make them, if that makes sense. But yeah. These are the base models I'm going to be using. There's Gwendy. I'm going to keep working on Gwendy. You know, honestly, I'm not hating the hair, really. The hair is not bad. I just needed to add some texture to it, because it was literally just like somebody dunked icing on her. I'm going to add some to the inside as well. Help. Oh, thank you, dude. And again, like I've said this before, nothing is like expected. Nothing, like nobody has to. Like I can still make the show without anything. And we're 22% of the way through it. So I already like that will help with, like, if I can't get character creator, that money will still go towards all the software and all the tools I'll need to make the show and to make other animated stuff that I'm working on down the line as well. So anything at all would help, but nothing is expected. Nothing is like, I'm not gonna make this stuff. I kind of hate whenever creatives that aren't really like doing this, you know, like I'm doing this for fun mostly, you know what I mean? Like I get some ad revenue off of stuff and I get some TikTok stuff, but I don't really get paid for this stuff. So like, I hate whenever creatives, you know, turn something that wasn't really for like monetary reasons, they turn it into something that is for monetary reasons. Which is why, as of right now, like later on down the line, as like far as streaming goes and as far as other things like that go, I'll eventually have more subscription stuff, more like Ko-Fi, Patreon stuff. But as of right now, I'm just chilling, man. I'm like, thank you. I try not to be, at least. Because I don't like when people make this type of thing about money. You know, money obviously is a factor. Like, I can't do this for free, do this type of thing for free forever and still, like, you know, maintain a life as a functioning adult, if that makes sense. But as of right now, this is for fun, man. Like, this is not my end goal. I'll probably put glasses on her too. I think I'm gonna find some kind of, I'll make some glasses and put those on her at some point. But there's Gwen. I'm also, oh, I forgot. I also need to add her headband. That Gwen Stacy signature headband. I also need to fix this. Let me see. What is happening? That's not what I meant to do. Brina, don't text and drive. I know she's probably got the thing just playing in the background now. But drive safe. Drive safe, please and thank you. Sticking to classic villains, or are you going to try and adapt some later villains in the certain time frame? I've got plans for a very weird array of villains. And a lot of them are going to be like classic ones. Don't text and drive, Brina. Don't test and drive. But I've got plans for a lot of like classic villains, a lot of newer villains that we've seen in the last like 10, 15 years of Spider-Man comics and shows and whatnot. I'm being safe, promise. Okay, cool. But I wonder if I can use this to do that. That's much better, actually. Safe driving. There we go. I love me some Sculpt's Tool. When did this happen? You do. Definitely have to fix that. Well, also I can make it look like it's just in here. Yeah. Still here. Clipping is your friend. Clipping is your friend. Gwen looks really good so far. I like it. Yay! How are you seeing that and driving safe? That's what I want to know. Bring the size of her hair into her head. I saw before I started driving. Now I'm using voice to text. Oh! Cool. That's acceptable. I think. Should I accept that, you guys? Should I accept that? That doesn't look right at all. That looks really good. I'm trying to get you like you, my boy. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Told you I'm being safe. Yay. Need model for the big muscle guy and the skinny guy for people like Cap who are more physically buff, maybe Flash as well. I think what I'm gonna do, well, because what I'm gonna do, just because it's not even just like the size, it's like the structure of the big guy. I'm gonna take the middle dude, like the normal like athletic build. I'm gonna kind of like I'm gonna use the inflate tool on his muscles a little bit, make him a little bit bigger, so that he still has the structure that athletic dude, but he looks bigger for Cap. And then I'll take the same thing and I'll use the smooth tool to make him thinner for Flash. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because those are just base models. So I'll mess around with the meshes per what I'm needing, because once I make the Cap model, Daredevil's kind of in between the Cap model and the regular athletic build. I mean, I honestly might use I might use that build for Daredevil, because I think Daredevil is kind of like an average athletic build. Because, like, let's go back to it and look for a second. So I feel like this might be close to Cap. I don't know, in the style of the show, because I want him to be taller. Like, I'll make this taller, and then I'll use the inflate tool. Let me test to see how well I can do that. I have to do some smoothing, because so far it looks really dumb. But I can do all that. And then, if I'm doing Flash, use the smooth tool. Would the smooth tool work on that? Huh! Definitely don't use the smooth tool like that. Smooth tool. I'm dumb. That looks like a Cap build. Do you think by itself this looks like Cap? Like the build looks like Cap? I might leave it alone and make him taller. Just so that he has, because I want him to have a physical presence in comparison to Spider-Man. I want him to be taller than Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Kind of the vibe I'm going for with it. But if I'm doing Flash, now that still does that. How do I do that? I'm gonna pinch. Pinch is what I used on the Spider-Man base model. Looks so good. Great job. Thank you. Thanks, Maddie. Oh, pinch is working way better. No, I'll use pinch. Keep accidentally leaving sculpt mode. I'll use... Make sure that torso's right. I'll use pinch for Flash. Because, like, he's obviously not small, but he's a QB, so he's not going to be that big either. Don't warp him. I might do something like that for Flash. I don't know. Did I just erase? No, I didn't erase. I just selected her. Okay, cool. But yeah, and Cap is kind of tall, so I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of go into that and go up. Whoa, don't stretch him. Go that way. Just a tad, so we maintain a pretty decent anatomy so he doesn't look like he's huge. And then with Kingpin, let me think what I'll do with Kingpin's model. Because this is basically just Ox, right? Like, this model here is just going to be what Ox from the Enforcers is going to look like. So what I'll do is I'll just make him, I'll make him a little taller. You know, and obviously I'll add on all this stuff, but I'll make him a little bit taller. And that's pretty much Ox. Make him this kind of just hulking dude. This big hulking dude. And then with Kingpin, I want him to not completely dwarf Ox, but almost like, you know how like sometimes you'll see like a big brother that's like just a little bit bigger than their little brother, like they're both big dudes. So Kingpin, and then sculpt mode. I'll make him a little bit less defined. Use the inflate tool. Not like he's melting. Because I want Spider-Man to kind of like be taken aback by just how large and in charge this guy is. I'll use smooth on his traps. Not his head. His traps. Yeah, that'll probably be kind of model for Kingpin. Just has, yeah, Kingpin just has pure mass. Like he's just this giant dude. So when Spider-Man takes him on, like he's got to be like a freaking presence. So Kingpin will probably look something like this with like a suit kind of draped over him. Oh wait. Okay, cool. He's back to normal size. Yeah, there's that. I'm so happy I caved on this, though, you guys. I'm so happy I caved on him. I don't know why, but I always think of Daredevil as this large, very lanky guy. Not as tall as Cap, though. I think it's because of the art style and Daredevil Man Without Fear produced in the Marvel Knights line. He was kind of lanky, wasn't he, in that? And, you know, I think that would be okay, too. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting like when I think of Daredevil in my head, how I might do my Daredevil. That's already kind of looking up. Right, like I think that base model with Kingpin, I'm just gonna like make it taller than the Ox model and then make it less defined, and that'll be Kingpin. Spidey looking drippy, my dude. Thank you, Maddie. He looks good, right? I caved and put the web lines on him, even though I said I wouldn't. Sometimes it's okay to cave. Sometimes it's okay to cave. Because this dude looks drippy. He looks drippy. Let me just see zoomed out. Now I might have to get out of this because this is not a toon. This isn't a toon shader. This is what I kind of call an arcane shader. Because the kind of... Actually, this might not be the arcane one. But I don't know if I'll use this one. Because it made the whites of his souls red. And the reason they're like that is because I had to make the shading red. Otherwise, it turned everything besides the black on the suit white. So I needed to change that. But let me go here. I'll save that. I didn't do anything to it. Downloads. I have so many files, you guys. I need to clean some of this out. Yeah, this is the toon. Okay, so this is the toon shader. So I think this is the one. Arcane Spidey. Okay, this is the quote-unquote arcane Spidey because it's using a shader that I more or less got from Arcane. This is with the shading on. I wonder if it's also... No, this one's the one where it was normal. It still kind of makes it red, but you can see the whites in it. And I really care about the white on the bottom of the shoes because the story behind that is that Pete, for the bottom of his boots, he used the soles from a pair of Vans that he wasn't wearing. Because this Peter Parker's a skater, so and I got this from my own experience because when I made my first Spider-Man costume with soles on the bottom of the feet, I couldn't find any like swim shoes, which is what you would normally use if you're cosplaying. Here's a little cosplay tip for soles in the suit. One kind of clever way to have soles on the bottom of your Spidey suit is to use swim shoes on the bottom. And what I did, and Sabrina remembers she was with me when I was picking out the shoes, I couldn't find any shoes that would work that weren't like really expensive, and we were at a convention, so I knew I was going to spend a lot of money, so I couldn't spend too much on the shoes. So we were at Target, and I found these off-brand Vans, and I was like, perfect, fine, cool, because I was doing Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, so he's a skater, so I was like, cool, this version just has Vans on the shoes. So that inspired this version of Pete that you can't really see it here. Let me take this off. Let me show you just the textures. It'll look a little ugly, but actually that doesn't look terrible. That's weird. There you go. You can really see the whites there, but the bottom of his shoes are white because those are Vans. Those are the soles of a pair of Vans that he put on the bottom of his suit. And all kind of little things. I'm going to add a little... I try to add as many little details as possible. Like, I'm going to do this thing with his web shooters. I'm zoomed in so far, it's hard to do this. But his web shooters, and I've mentioned this before, I'm going to have this function, this animation, in the show where he creates these different... Oh man, those are red with this shade on. I'm going to have to fix that. I need to learn how to use this. There we go. It overloaded for a second. I lost it for a second, you guys. But we're back. We're back. But, let me just turn back to that so that doesn't happen again. But, I'm going to have to fix that so that the web shoes are gray. This person prefer the Vans to the swim shoes just because I like the look. Well, good. I'm glad you really like that. But I really like it too because it's a good look. Your computer's crying. My computer is crying for a second, you guys. I made my computer cry because I'm using Blender and I have... How many tabs of Blender do I have? I have 3 tabs of Blender open right now. So my CPU is like struggling because this is not a very expensive CPU. This whole computer is not very expensive. That's why I'm struggling. But that's also why I'm using that's why my phone just fell. That's why I'm using Ko-Fi to try and raise some money to get some new software like Character Creator, because that'll take the workload off of it. Or that money will go towards a GPU so that I can just render everything in Blender. Those in one of your suits again? Yeah, sure, probably. I might once, trailers and stuff once I make a trailer for this show, I might commission Web Warriors to make this suit, and I'll wear that suit for a little bit. Honestly, the fact it's running as well as it is impressive, right? The fact that this is running perfectly makes me seriously consider the possibility that Streamlabs was the problem. Not running the stream while I'm in Blender. Streamlabs was the problem because Streamlabs crashed 3 times. This says buffered once. So, I don't know. I think I might have to just get rid of Streamlabs, which that's fine. That'll save me some money because I pay for Streamlabs Pro stuff. And I don't know what I use in that besides getting the overlays, which I have the overlays here. And I don't even really use them because my streams, I don't really move around on screens a lot. So I can just be here. So I could just get rid of Streamlabs, save that money, and put that here. Streamlabs is weird. Yeah, Streamlabs is weird. OBS seems to be running perfectly fine, though. So I'm going to stick with OBS for now. to have the suit made for cosplay, right? I also might talk to my buddy Agrofro, who, if you guys like remember all of my Spider-Man videos with all the modded suits that are from the movies that are like, that's Agrofro. And I might see if he's interested in making that. Because if he can make that and put that in Spider-Man Remastered, that would be one, really awesome, and two, that would be decent marketing for the show. I think probably Spider-Man also had somebody make his suit for the game, for his show, which that show's gonna be dope. And also, I don't know if you guys saw the animation for Spider-Man Reborn. That movie is gonna be dope. It's another fan film, and the animation, and it's gonna be animated too. And I don't know if they're using Unreal Engine. I'm gonna have to ask them about that. But it looks like it's Unreal Engine. But it looks dope. Like, that movie is gonna be so cool. But I don't know if he put his in the game either. But probably Spider-Man put his suit in the game, and it looks awesome. So I'm gonna see if Agrofro or somebody would put my suit in the game. Because that would be so cool. That would be so fun to play as my Spider-Man too. But yeah. That would be so cool. Anyways, I need to keep working on Gwen. I got so distracted I forgot what I was doing. Yeah, I've seen the Spider-Man. Yeah, because like the trailer's cool, but have you seen like the animation test that just came out? It just came out today. It's on their Instagram. It looks sick. It looks so good. They're doing kind of a Raimi style swinging. And it looks so graceful. That's the thing I love about Raimi movies, is the swinging looks so graceful. Like, I like the Amazing Spider-Man movies a bit more because it looks, I won't say realistic. It looks like a dude's getting like, because sometimes he looks like he's shaking in the air, and it looks very fast-paced and looks almost chaotic, which I like that. And then I like the casualness of the MCU Spider-Man swinging, where like he almost doesn't look like he's. It's like, because you think after he's swinging for a while, it's not an event. It's not like a big thing that he's doing. He's just swinging. It's like, do you thrash all over the place when you like go for a jog? No, that's how it is for Spider-Man. Let me fix this little piece here. That was ridiculously easy. There was latency, but yeah. There was latency, but that made me laugh, Brina. And I will admit, you do be struggling. You do be struggling sometimes. It doesn't work. I want it to have a bit of a widow's peak, but not be too low. It's still doing that. That doesn't work either. I haven't ran since high school for more than... Yeah, that's true. You do have that built-in excuse that they had you guys hauling ass when we were in high school. Now, what would happen if I go into object mode and I shade smooth? Nothing. Shade flat. Actually, this is fine for now, because I'm going to do some editing while it's in this. Object mode. Edit mode. I saw the swinging animation you mentioned. Looks awesome. Right? It looks sick! That movie is going to be so dope, dude. Are you trying to give her a widow's peak? No, I'm trying to not give her a weird hairline. I'm trying to not give her a helmet. Ah! The crease was too big. So many Spider-Man fan series coming out. Now we got You Reborn and probably... Oh yeah, probably Spidey Spider-Man series. It's also gonna come out. Yeah. We all said, look, I love what you're doing, Marvel, but you're taking too long. We'll do it ourselves. Because for me it was Missing Spectacular. No, it started off with me wanting a proper animated adaptation. I'm gonna sit here so that you guys can see my hat. You see my hat? You see my hat? But for me, it was wanting a proper animated adaptation of Ultimate Spider-Man, because as much as I like the Disney XD series, like I appreciated it, that was not Ultimate Spider-Man. But they couldn't do Ultimate Spider-Man because Ultimate Spider-Man was very mature for a Disney XD show. Like, they could not have adapted that. So part of it was wanting that. I'm gonna sit up, and now I feel like I'm on the ground. But cool hat, thank you. But I wanted an Ultimate Spider-Man series that was a little bit more faithful to the source material. And I knew we were never going to get that. I also think there's a fan series that's going to be an adaptation of Ultimate Spider-Man. If I'm not mistaken. I think that might actually also be a thing. I know I saw some stuff about it on... I almost said Twitter. X. Oh. I'm just going to fill this in and try and carve it out again. There we go! Finally! Oh my god. Just enough texture to not look like a helmet, But it's also not so much that it's like straggly and weird. I still call it Twitter. I usually just call it Twitter. I'm also looking at how it looks on my other monitor, because this is my drawing tablet comes up pretty clear, but also like seeing it like on this screen looks pretty good. You mentioned your the chat says EX face purple crying, which is kind of funny. That was pretty good. I'll have to add the shaders. And that's the one downside. That's another reason why I feel so weird talking about the Ko-Fi. But the reason why Character Creator is so cool and would be so useful is that I would not, like, Daz is great, but there's like 15 different materials just for Gwen's face, and that makes it so hard to put shaders on her. Whereas Character Creator, you make the character, you stick it in Blender, you throw a shader on it, and you're done. So the process like would just go, and I'd be done with all the character modeling in like a month. Whereas this is gonna take probably till like, it'll probably be like January when I'm done making all the characters that are gonna be like visible. Just because there's the entire friend group, there are all of the side characters that interact with people on a regular basis. There are any characters that can be used for like serious close-up shots. All those characters, I gotta model them. Which would be a lot easier if I had something like Character Creator 4. That's why I'm like, I feel bad, but I'm like, okay, guys, I could make this show so much faster. I could make this show so much faster and look so much better. Also, did I show you the Flash fan game that's being made based on the TV show version? Yes! I feel like, I don't know if you showed me it, but I have seen that. And it's the coolest thing ever. I saw it whenever it was first, like, whenever they were first, like, putting it together. And you could, like, run, you could use the speed track at Star Labs. And that was insanely cool. Or you could use the particle collider at Star Labs. And that was really cool. You could, there was like a Crisis on Infinite Earths pack that the person was using. It's just, being a geek is so cool. Being a geek and making stuff for geeks is even cooler. That's why I love when people are being all creative and stuff and making things. A new trailer for Wally West. Sick! Sick! You know the thing with Wally is my Flash, because when I was growing up, Wally West was the Flash. And I think Barry Allen might have been dead. That's gonna clip for a little bit, but whenever I actually add hair physics, that'll actually just fall onto her shoulders and sit. I feel like, because I brought her cheeks in a little bit, because it was very Pixar whenever I first modeled Gwen. But I feel like because I brought her cheeks in, her ears look a lot bigger. I didn't completely butcher her ears, did I? No, I didn't. Cool. This is pretty good. Her hair is jutting out there. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Hang on a second. I only did one ear because I didn't have mirror mode on. I'm so dumb. I mean silly. I'm not dumb, I'm silly. I'm trying to be better about how I talk to myself. You're not dumb. You're just being silly. There we go, that's both ears now. Now I can go in the hair and adjust the hair to match the ears again. Based off season 4, but rewritten to make it their own. And of course, make it a better story. Yeah, because season 4 kind of... it wasn't that great. Which I would like if they're doing Wally West, I would like if they would make it not focus entirely on Wally, but spend more time with Wally. Super excited for Alice is coming out. I'm gonna be a voice actor. My dream job wasn't amazing. That's a dream job. So this is an amazing first project to really give it my all. Dude, awesome. Oh, I recognize your name. Dude, you did a really great audition. Everybody did fantastic auditions, but I remember your name because you did really well. I would definitely say you should consider voice acting as a career. I need to turn off mirror mode so I can do this. Here we go. I also considered, here's the thing, I also considered animating this in 2D and using traditional animation, use Clip Studio Paint to animate this in 2D. My problem is, neither thing was... Civilian couldn't find a comic panel, so I improvised and ended up about two guys talking about if it's tech make the web or if he makes it himself. I remember that one too. Dude, oh my gosh. You guys, all of your civilian / criminal improv things have been so good and so funny. Like, I'll tell you guys here, and it'll be like, now it'll be on YouTube whenever I talk about this. But my plan is for everybody, because like there's about 130 I think on there, which like throughout season 1 and then throughout later seasons, everybody's gonna get some kind of speaking role as a civilian or something in like something of that nature in the show. But I want to make sure that nobody feels like they're just like cast to the side if they're not like a main character. But if they're like, if you're like, if you like, and this is if people want, I want people to have a character in mind, like their like New Yorker character, and I want to sprinkle in each episode your character doing a thing. So like for like if you have a character that's like their bit is that they're talking about, for example, does Spider-Man make the webs or does he have tech for it? I'll have that in episode something or other, whatever, that maybe Peter's walking into a store and he's not in his suit or whatever, but I want Peter to walk in and the scene not focus on him, but focus on that conversation, because I want those characters that people made and came up with those improvised dialogue. I want that to be the focus of that scene, just because I for one, I love when people are being creative, and when people are doing stuff like that, they're being creative, and it makes me so happy and excited and just excited for people. And two, that to me is the best thing about Spider-Man, and the most important thing about Spider-Man is New York and the people of New York, and how Spider-Man or Peter or Miles or Gwen or whatever Spider person we're talking about, how they interact with their city is the most important thing about the character. Which is why, to me, New York needs to be a character in and of itself. So the little random interactions throughout New York have to be as important as Spider-Man fighting the Vulture or Spider-Man fighting whoever, if that makes sense. Yeah. Love your stuff. You've been following since Inner Peace? I need to remake that at some point. But that's crazy, dude. That was like 2 years ago? A year and a half ago? I forgot when Inner Peace was. But that's wild, man. That's wild. I'm glad you enjoyed the audition process and everything, man. Because it was really good. It was really good. And Nathan, yours was really good as well. I'm so freaking excited about the talent that's coming through right now, man. Like, everybody's doing so well. What should I do with you, Gwen? I think your hair is fine. I need to add shaders. I feel like I need to add some kind of texture to the inside of the hair. Ooh, wait. Object mode. Texture paint. That's it. Shading. That's the problem. There's no texture. Everybody's audition sounds awesome. Everybody's doing such a great job. I'm really excited for everybody in case it wasn't apparent. Texture paint. Okay. So let me try and actually get... God, that's haunting. Here we go. This is gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for this show, man. Let me actually... Okay, well that's just her hair, so we're gonna do this. Go here. Grab that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do that. I'm just gonna... Man, the UV map is so small. That's probably why it's like this. I'm so proud of everyone, genuinely. Me too. I'm so proud of everybody. Everybody's so talented and creative. And what's crazy is, too, I'm going to actually make a video addressing this because I kind of messed up. I added the Norman Osborn casting call, but I think it was like 2 in the morning that I did this, and I fell asleep. And I forgot to add the audition lines. So there was just Norman Osborn, and it was just a blank slate. But that didn't stop a couple people from auditioning. They saw Norman and they were like, I'm doing it. I'm auditioning. So they either came up with their own dialogue, or they grabbed dialogue from the comics or game, and they made dialogue from that, and then they did that as their audition. And it was still good. So I'm just like, oh my God, nothing can stop you guys. But I ended up going back and actually putting in the Norman lines for how he's going to be in the show, just because I wanted to make sure everybody knew, like, okay, this is what Norman's going to kind of be like. This is the vibe for Norman. But I was still, like, so taken back. I was like, oh my God, you guys are unstoppable. What if I'm going to do this? I might as well. That doesn't look right. Here. It's too greenish. That's better. What did I have before I put the shading on? I kind of like that better. I think I might just leave that and add the shader through the Toon shader thing. Because I like this better. Bada bing, bada boom. But I think this will be where I leave Gwen until I can figure out what I'm going to do about shading. Excited. Eccentric Enigma, what is up, dude? You want to know something weird? This is just looking straight on at the model, and then I just have to tap it. Oh, wait, hang on. This is like, with the camera, like, the focal zoom. It's crazy. Nero, what's up? Oh, everybody's popping in now. There's Gwendy. There's Gwendy. Oh, Nero, you missed it! Hang on. And okay, so Nero and Eccentric, I gotta tell you guys this. I had said previously that I was not going to put web lines on Spider-Man because I wanted it to feel like it was a new, or not like a new, like an older, like this, like a younger Pete that hasn't quite figured it out. I caved. I hardcore caved. I quite drastically caved. Let me see if this doesn't completely crash the stream. Not lagging too much. But there he is. There he is in all of his webbed glory, and obviously he looks infinitely better. But I still added that touch of he's a younger Spider-Man because I used the draw tool to put the webbed lines on instead of in the old model that I was going to use for Spider-Man. I used, just changed my name on YouTube. It's sick. What'd you do? Is it just Nero now? Oh, you just did it just now. I just noticed. I just noticed. But, yeah. I used the draw tool to put the web lines on instead of, I used some curves that I turned into meshes so that it looked like a solid line, like how the puff painted suits are. And now it has this kind of cartoony, but also kind of like Pete just drew on these web lines with a Sharpie, but in a way where it looks controlled. So it doesn't look bad, but it looks like rough, if that makes sense. Maybe flashbacks, there could be no webs. Yeah, maybe there are like some flashbacks when he first becomes Spider-Man, or when he first is doing his stupid stuff. I'll tell you guys about the origin at some point. I'm thinking about making the origin into a comic, but I'll tell you about the origin at some point. He's pretty much the same, a little different, because he's doing things that it would make more sense for a 15-year-old to, if he got superpowers and he was being stupid with them, it would make more sense than he got into pro wrestling. I wonder if I could change the latency of the chat in the middle of a stream. I'm not going to try it because I don't want to, like, make my computer explode. But I wonder if I could do that. Let's see. Let me try and pull up, because I also have a Spider-Verse shader version of this. I think it's Spider-Man Final. There it is. This is the Spider-Verse shader version. Which is kind of rough because I haven't done all the fine-tuning on the shader. It still looks pretty good. But to my picky, never satisfied with my own work eyes. Here we go. Spider-Man influencer? Oh god, am I gonna just divulge the entire origin of this Spider-Man to you guys? How far off do you think it is? Like the origin? The origin is pretty much... Or are you saying like the comic, or how far off is the origin from like the original origin? Because like in a nutshell, it's basically the same. Like he gets bit by the spider. Some things about the spider bite are different. God, do I... Guys, try to convince me right now to tell you the origin of this Spider-Man in a nutshell before I make a comic about it. Try to convince me, because I need someone to push me off the ledge to tell you guys about it. Because it's not really important to the show, to the concept of the show. Oh yeah, make sure to thwip that like and subscribe button, you guys. That would be kind of funny if he was an influencer. Said make sure to thwip that like and subscribe button. So you guys' reaction to the Spider-Verse shader makes me wonder the validity of me not using the Spider-Verse shader. It definitely is easier on my computer, I'll say that, because I can move around with it. There's no lag in this. There's no lag in the stream. I can move around with it perfectly. One like means one prayer for Ben. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh lordy. Dinner time. Enjoy dinner, Brina. This also lets you guys look at the details in it. So the line back here is thicker. I've added so many random details that nobody will care about. But the line back here is thicker because there's a seam here. There's a zipper here. And I think I'm going to add in a line around here for where the mask ends and the suit begins. But I added in this line here because this is where the zipper in the mask is. Because that's how my mask is there's a zipper on the back of the head. So I can zip, take the mask off instead of just yoink the mask off, because that's how you rip fabric. You know what I mean? A homeless spider from Feast bites Peter. Oh lordy. Oh lordy. Ugh. And then where's the boy? Here's a Peter Parker. save? Yeah, I'll save this. Where's the boy? Don't lag stream. Oh, he's just smaller. That model's just smaller. I'm gonna have to fix that later. I didn't realize how much smaller the Peter model was from the Spider-Man model. I'll have to change that. You know, this model, I did something different with it. I changed something about this from the other ones. Is Horizon Labs involved in the origin? No, Oscorp is involved with the origin. I'm gonna be very Ultimate Spider-Man with it and make Oscorp, not the manufacturer of the spider, I won't say manufacturer, but they create the circumstance for Peter to become Spider-Man. So, party animals? That might be the move. That might be the move, my friend. I did something different. Do anything to it. Ah! Ah! Have colors. There we go. Now this is the Toon Shade one. This one is made to match the Peter. And this is the Arcane Toon Shade that I have, and not just the regular one. Osborn, you stole my work! Osborn! That old spectacular vulture. Party Animals is not on PlayStation. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why is it not on PlayStation? They fly now? They fly now? Are you saying he looks like Poe? Even if you aren't, now I'm thinking it. They fly now! Oh, that was loud. That was loud, like, in my ears. So I'm sorry if that hurt you guys' ears. Recent... This regular Pete? Is this gonna be Spider-Verse Pete? Yeah, this is Spider-Verse Pete that's about to pop up. Enter, boy! Enter, boy! Enter! Enter, boy! Enter, boy, Peter Parker. There you are. I really gotta fix the textures on this, because he has no eyelashes. It looks almost haunting. He's got no eyes, no eyelashes. Maybe it's because the eyes. 'Cause these are new eyes that I added to seem a bit more stylized, a bit more lively than the old ones. This is the Spider-Verse one, if I decide to do that one. But I really like the Arcane one. And like the other model, this one is a lot better on my PC to animate. But I do kind of like the other model better. It doesn't look that bad on the big screen. He's staring into my soul. Okay. Let's go back to the nicer looking one. Honestly, this one... Yeah, I'll save that for now, because I'll do some... If I decide to go Spider-Verse with it, I'll do some touch-up on it. If I decide to go Pixar with it, I will use this one. That was awesome timing. If I decide to go very Pixar with it, I'm going to use this one, because this is a very generic, like, Disney Pixar-looking Peter Parker. And it looks really good! Like, I'm very, very proud of myself for the way I did this one. But I'm still not 100% set on it yet. I really want to know the origin. Paper mask of Soul Taker Peter and make a fortune. We have to use the Spider-Verse model of Peter and just put that on a mask and just have everybody stare into people's souls with that mask. Be terrifying. I really want to know the origin. Flash, you saying no to the origin? Are you saying no to hearing about the origin? It'll be in a... What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a comic book. It won't be that long. Well, I might make it long because it's kind of a complicated origin. It's not complicated like it's like cluttered, but it's like the typical origin. So it might be a whole comic. I don't know yet. That would be a scary Halloween mask. Right? 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 This one would be decent, though. This one's a decent face. I was saying no to the soul staring. Well, so far, Eccentric Enigma is the only one that's directly asked about me talking about the origin story. So I don't know if you guys want to hear the origin story or not. Oh man, I've got some of the old models on here too. I'm showing you guys these ones. Let me see. The original Peter Parker model. Where is it? Is it this one? I think it's this one. No, here it is. Peter Parker blank. Not blank like he doesn't have colors on him. The colors are gonna pop up. Enter boy. I've already showed a lot of you guys this, but this is the original model that I had in mind for Peter. Can't read him a little. I can only read when it fits me. It's a condition. Understandable. Okay, so you guys want to hear the origin? Okay. I'll tell you about the origin as I like sift through these. Is this the original Spider-Man model? Don't save. I don't care about this one. He didn't have a white. Come on. There we go. Enter boy. This is the original Spider-Man model. God, it's so ugly. Knowing what he looks like now, this is so ugly. It's not ugly. Appreciate all the steps for your work. It's just very drastically different than what I have now. There were a lot of changes I've made to the character design since then. The front emblem is the same though. The front emblem is the one thing that I was like, yes, definitely, because I was very set new animated series vibe. Yeah, new animated series vibes. Which that's another way I'm gonna make myself feel better because I did like the new animated series. But a couple things that have changed. One, obviously, these webs. You've definitely improved. Yeah, I've definitely improved. I'll say that. These webs are made from using curves in Blender. And taking those curves and draping them over the body and you know, putting them in certain pattern to look like the web. And then turning that into a mesh. Whereas the new one, I just drew the webs on. Because I wanted to have that kind of painterly look to it. Like Peter just put the webs on. Whereas this is actually like a puff paint. That's why you can see it's kind of a raised web pattern. And then this base mesh is actually a Spider-Man base mesh. So there's like a blank Spider-Man form that I then molded to look like Spider-Man and put lenses on it and everything and painted it and everything like that. Whereas the new one is just a blank base mesh. It's not meant to be Spider-Man or anything like that. It's just a blank base mesh that I then modeled to look like Spider-Man and then put everything on top of it like that. So there are even improvements in just my work pattern for it. Just let me pull up. Pull up Spider-Man Final. Zoom out, boy. Because this is just a blank base mesh. Just I think it's called like a stylized male base mesh, and that's it. And I took that and I slapped on some bigger lenses. I used the same front logo. I changed out the back logo to look a little bit more Ditko-y. And then I painted over it and I made what would have been the blue sections black. And then I drew on the webs instead of making them a separate mesh, which one is good because that's saved on are the eyes going to be expressive? Yes. Whenever I move on from modeling into rigging the characters, I'm going to rig the body so that he can move around, but I'm also going to rig the eyes. And there's a technique that I'm going to look into where I'm going to rig the frames and lens of the eyes so that the eyes can move as he talks and be like confused and everything like that. Confused, angry, surprised, all that good stuff. But that's why I opted for bigger eyes, because I want it to be very expressive and animated, because it's going to be a very stylized show. It's not going to be like cutscenes from the game. It's going to be very very animated, very stylized. In some ways cartoony, not in a lot of ways, but in some ways cartoony. Going to be like a when I say Sony Animation, I don't mean necessarily like Spider-Verse. Well, Spider-Verse kind of. But when I say Sony Animation, I mean more like Mitchell's versus Machines. That's kind of what I'm looking at for the show. How about the origin? Do I talk about the origin? Yeah, I'll talk. Oh, God. Do I talk about the origin? Guys, do I talk about the origin? Also, I think my music just cut out. I think it did. Hang on, I'll put you guys over here real quick. Ooh, that's going to be awful. Restart that music. Put you guys back over here. There we go. Who all is still here? Who all is still here and wants to listen to the origin story? Origin, okay. This is the abridged version. Because the comic is going to be in detail about all this stuff. This is the abridged version of this guy's origin story. Hold off on it, but if you decide to, I won't mind. I'm going to do the abridged version. So the fine details are not going to... I didn't change anything. Oh, it's not even. This kid, picture him skinnier with glasses. This kid is at a field trip. Oscorp for his school. I can work with a bridge. Sick. He's on a field trip. Oscorp for school. Midtown Manhattan Magnet High School. While he's there, spider bites him. And he's like, oh my god, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then nothing happens. He's just like, ow, that hurt. And he gets on the bus at the end of the day to go home. And then Peter gets really, really sick, throws up on the bus, passes out. He goes into the hospital for a while And that's one of the biggest changes, is that the change does not immediately happen to him. He is very sick for a while because his body is changing drastically, because his DNA has been altered because he was bitten by a genetically modified spider. So he's like not okay for a little while. And then he gets good. Really good. Because he has the proportional strength, speed, and agility of a spider, and he can crawl on walls and all that good stuff that happens. And as I said before, this version of Peter Parker, that's why the bottom of his suit has Vans on the boots. He's a skater. And so he and Harry, they go skateboarding a lot. And Peter realizes he can do all these crazy things, and he catches the attention of these YouTubers or these influencers or whatever that film people doing crazy tricks and stuff. And they see Peter doing all these crazy things, and Peter does not want to be like known and stuff like that. I'm trying to be abridged but give some semblance of details. Spider-Man is just this gimmick that these skaters do, and Peter's in this kind of stupid suit that he throws together because he doesn't want to be all over the internet. But he's getting all this attention from all these crazy tricks that he can do. And that kind of fills in the blank for the pro wrestling thing. Because I didn't think that the pro wrestling thing would make sense for like the modern teenager to get into if they got these powers. I thought if you were an influencer of some kind, that would make more sense. But I also didn't think he would go straight to fighting. I didn't think he would go straight to like fighting people. I think he would go straight into tricks. And I thought, okay, what kind of tricks thing would I do if I had superpowers? I'm a skater. So I would be doing all kinds of crazy things on my skateboard if I were Spider-Man. So that's why I made that change to his origin. But then everything plays out the same way that it normally would. Peter ends up wanting to be compensated for it. The people that are working with him don't want to do that. He's like, screw you. They get mugged. Doesn't want to help. That plays out how it plays out. Peter learns a pretty valuable lesson that we all know of. That's the origin of this Spider-Man. In a nutshell. Leaving out like 80% of the story with that, but whenever the comic book comes out, and whenever flashbacks to the origin happen later on in the show, then you guys will see all that. But as of right now, that's the origin. I bumped the microphone. Sorry if that hurt anybody's ears. The ice melts in this, and I'm kind of glad, because I put too much Gatorade powder in this, so hopefully that watered it down a little bit. It did, yay! Like Goofy Movie 2, we get an X Games. Yeah, we get an X Games. That's kind of it. And I got that from, because if you guys follow me on Instagram, every once in a while I'll share some like crazy tricks that I see on Instagram. Because I love skating. And I can't do like 90% of the tricks that those guys do. But actually I can't do any of the tricks that I see on those things. The most I could do is a decent ollie. But but like I love watching those clips, and I love sharing those clips. And I was like, man, if Peter was a skater, he would have started off doing the craziest stuff. Because he would have gotten these powers and been like, oh my god. It's a neat origin, like the change he made. Yeah, my biggest thing that I wanted to diverge from, which is honestly the biggest change. Like, one, I did change the mode at which Peter was not using his powers responsibly. But my biggest, I'm like fidgeting with my ring light with my foot. There we go. That's okay. But the biggest change was the mode at which Peter got his powers, because I felt like, okay, like obviously it's not scientifically accurate for like a person to get superpowers from getting a radioactive bug bite anyway. But I was like, if it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen like 15 minutes after he got bitten, or like the next day after he got bitten. It's gonna take a minute for those changes to happen, or for those changes to really take effect. So I was like, what if he just got really sick from the bug bite, and over time, his body kind of morphs into the Spider-Man, I guess, body or whatever. So that was my biggest change, was the mode at which, like, the fact that Peter gets sick, and when you guys see it in the comic or when you see it in flashbacks. Actually, there is one flashback in season 1. So you guys will see one aspect of the origin in season 1. But the majority of it is going to be later on in the show. Because I don't want to harp too much on the origin. Because we all know the gist of the origin. He gets bit by the bug. He doesn't use the powers right. Uncle Ben bites the dust. Spider-Man. We all know that. That's not a spoiler. That's not... I'm not breaking new ground by putting the origin on there. Because I'm doing one of two things. I'm either going to change the origin, which that would be no-no. Big no-no. I like how he goes to the hospital for a while. It's such a simple but effective... Right. Like, it's not... And that's something that I think it makes sense. Like, his body is, like, morphing like that. It's not like a... Oh, he's sick, sleep it off, now he's Spider-Man thing. That would feel terrible. That would not be a pleasant thing to go through, so he'd be in the hospital for a little while. But yeah. But like I was saying, like, you can't... Like, I'm not going to change the origin too much, because that's a big no-no. But I think I speak for most Spider-Man fans where I'm like, we already know how he got to be Spider-Man. We don't need to see that again. So I'm not going to harp on the origin too much. Norman offered to help May pay for the bills. That's... I guess that's a spoiler, but yeah, that's technically what happens. Technically. Some details. But that's why they're not in crippling financial debt. But, yeah, that's the abridged version of the origin. And the changes are Peter gets sick for a while, and instead of pro wrestling, it's skating videos. Because there would be medical records. Exactly. So that sets up some stuff. I have a few plans for what happens as a result of that. Because that branches off into a few different characters going on specific types of arcs in my Spider-Man universe from that decision, which I didn't even notice until I was planning out things ahead and noticing, oh, that would make sense because this happened. Those people can interact because they were probably involved when this happened. This did that, so that would cause that. And that's something that I found to be really cool about the kind of accidental world building along with my purposeful world building that came from the few changes I made to the character back then. It sets up a few things. There are a few things that set up a few things too. Even in season 1, there are random little things that set up things that'll happen several seasons down the line. Because I have 7 seasons planned. I'm not saying I'm going to do 7 seasons, but I have 7 seasons planned. But yeah. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. It's wild. This is wild, you guys. Lots of things and lots of events and lots of stuff. You know what? Some of you guys are kind of bored. Do you guys want to hear the You guys want to hear some music that I have made for the show. Can we expect Venom to appear at some point? Yes. I have a plan for Venom. His origin is the same in some ways that we usually see him, but it's different in some ways. I'm not going to tell you who Venom is. You could probably guess who Venom is. And that story is going to be very set up, so you're not even going to see that. It's not going to be like Venom's going to pop up. Venom's going to happen, and you're going to know it's Venom. Like, it's going to be very... I don't know why I said it like that. I'm going to set it up so that as things progress, it won't be like a jarring... Oh my god, there's Venom now. When Venom shows up. If that makes sense. I'd love to hear some... Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Where is it? There we go. Okay, I'm only going to show a couple things, just because I don't even remember what all I have on here. So this one I think I posted on here. I think I uploaded it at some point. Ring me up. I do insane Venom voice. I'll let you know. I got you on that. I'll have auditions for the voice of Venom. I kind of also wanted to do Venom, but I'm already doing Spider-Man, so I'm not going to just take up... I want to make sure I'm not taking up a bunch of people's like opportunities to do something. Does a sick Tony Todd Venom impression. Oh, sick. Yeah, whenever the time comes. It's going to be a while before Venom even shows up. But when that happens, let me know. I think I uploaded this one on here before, but I'll do it anyway. I'll show you guys. Venom is Danny DeVito. You called it, Nero. It's Danny DeVito. So this is the main theme of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's called Beyond Amazing. I don't know how loud that is. I can hear good. Sick. So that was the main theme. And I don't know if any of you guys picked up on it, but there are some nods to other themes in there as well. Towards the end especially. This is one, I put this on Instagram and people really liked it. This is Daily Bugle News. And I think this is also going to be just the kind of vibey like track for like if just random things are going on. And that's the Daily Bugle. I feel like all the prior themes kind of overpowers the main theme. Oh, and my thing? I mean, if it helps, I have other versions of it that are like the theme by itself. Some of these themes to Bloodless Night last time. I think I did too. Because here's. Which one's the one that I did? Bugle as well, changing it from from something else. The Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle is going to be a lot. It's going to be kind of samey, but kind of different from how it is in the MCU. Because, like, it's going to be more of a news site than a newspaper, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to be too big of a newspaper, but I also don't want it to be like a crappy conspiracy theory page thing like how it was in the MCU. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. It's going to be this news site that's established and that people actually read it. But it's not going to be dumb. The dumb part is going to be anytime the Bugle talks about Spider-Man. That's the dumb part. But I want the Bugle to be like to make sense as a place for him to work. Also, he works there. The little spectacular Spider-Man at the end of your main theme? Nah. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. There's also this one. This one might just be like a trailer music. It's just kind of like a triumphant kind of version thing of his theme if he's like in the middle of a fight or he just won something. It's that one. That one. I'm song you streaming for? Well, Sabrina's right. I do have to eat dinner, so I might only stream for. I might end it here pretty soon because I do need to eat something. Man, I've been streaming for over 2 hours. This is one of the longest streams for this stuff I've ever done, I think. I'll show you guys one more. I'll make it a corny one too. This is the Peter and Gwen theme. I think this is your favorite, right, Brina? I think that one's your favorite. But that one's for those little mushy scenes. Because Peter and Gwen are best friends in this show, but that theme is for any time where that assumption is tested a little bit. But yeah. That I think that'll be all for the stream today. I think I'll end it on that note, and I'll end it on you guys looking at this gorgeous thing that I made. By accident. Mostly by accident. And only gorgeous if you look at it at specific angles with this shader on, because it does not look good once you take the shader off. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. I think it looks all right. But thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around for this. I'm gonna get some food. everybody that's putting in. I haven't even looked once before I started the stream. We were at 130 submissions. Let me check now. I want to see what it's at now. Yeah, we're at 130 submissions. 62 followers for it. Project views 2,735 project views. With only 18 roles, is going to be probably a little over 20 by the end of the night for more people to audition. But thank you guys so much for supporting this project. I'm so excited about this show, and I'm so excited about everybody auditioning and everybody who's taking note of what we're trying to do with this. You guys are all so talented and so awesome, and I'm so excited to get to work on this thing. But as of right now, I still got to model the other characters. So yeah, watching these streams helps. Supporting content about this show helps. The Ko-Fi, this is the fourth time I've talked about the Ko-Fi, and that makes me feel sick. The Ko-Fi will help to boost my ability to make the show at the best possible level, in the most efficient way possible. But all these, just watching and just hanging out and just, everybody who gets involved in it, that also helps. So thank you everybody for all your support and all your excitement and all your well wishes and everything. And on that note, I will head out. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. And I will see you guys the next time I talk about this or the next time I talk about anything else. See you guys.